push it to the highest level is football, and that is why we always ensure that we come into the studios of Star Times at the channel 247 to bring you a game from the league that matters, the only league that matters, that is the Ghana Premier League. We are still on the penultimate round of the Ghana Premier League. That is match day 33, and we started yesterday, and we were at the Karela Stadium in the northern region, where it was Kumasi Asante Kotoko that got a win against RTU to send RTU to the Division 1 of Ghana Football. Dreams FC were also in action, and we'll talk about both games right here on Star Times at the channel 247. But today we will be at the same venue that hosted yesterday's game, that is the Karela Stadium in Nalego, where Karela, who need 3 points badly to ensure they survive in the Ghana Premier League, will come up against league winners Samartex. They claimed the title last week with a win in a Samurai Boy, and this time it is Karela who are in dire need of 3 points. Let's see how that one will go. It is one of the two matches that we'll be showing you today on your screens, because after this game we will be at the Accra Sports Stadium for the Gamashi Derby, which Heartfolk will take on Great Olympics. But there are other games coming up in match day 33. First of all, let's look at the result that came through yesterday. Accra Lions beating Dreams FC by a goal to nil, and RTU losing to Asante Kotoko by 2-0. Today, the other would host in Swaterman at the Nanajima Bedu Park. Bebieni Gold Star, the Bebieni Park would also come up against Mediama. Then there's Bufuakwa Tunnel against Brekum Chelsea. Heart of Lions, they will face off with Legon Cities, and Karela would play Samartex. That is the game we'll be showing you live in a few minutes at time. Nations FC would also take on Bechem United, and I told you that at 6 p.m. we will cross over to the Accra Sports Stadium, as Heartfolk would also come up against Great Olympics in that epic encounter. What we are all waiting to see how that one goes, because both teams need 3 maximum points to ensure their safety in the Ghana Premier League. My name is Mutala Yakubu, and I'm not in the studios alone. I have company here, the man who has all the data and statistics as far as Ghana football is concerned. Felix Romak has joined us. Felix, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Mutala.
And Nanedu, my partner in crime, my colleague here at IMAX, and also at Star Times, is also here with us. Now, Nanedu, you were here yesterday, so I'll start off with Felix. Felix, yesterday was Asante Kotoko against RTU. Now, the story is not even about Kotoko. It is about RTU going to Division 1. Another team in the northern part of Ghana going there. Already we had Tamale City being relegated last season. RTU follow suit. Now it's left with just Karela, who look like the glimmer of hope for the people in the northern region.
Well, it wasn't surprising. If you look at RTU this season, they've been struggling financially. I think that has been one of the key problems that they've experienced this season. And also, I can say that change of venue, has also been a major part in their struggle to survive, because at one point they were playing at the Tamale Sports Stadium. They had to relocate to the Golden City Park in Brekum, play at the Narulugu, sports complex. So it's been a difficult season for them. And when you don't have consistency in having a venue to play your games, when you don't have financial backing, when you are not paying players, when you are changing coaches, Mutala, it would always be difficult for you to survive in the Premier League season. And for them, I think that most of the teams up north, they need strong financial backing, in the sense that you look at the number of teams in the north, apart from Karela and RTU, talking about this season's league, they have to travel a lot of times to the south.
Yeah.
So just imagine, let's take a look at the teams that are playing in the southern sector. So Karela or RTU have to move to Takwa and play Mediama. They have to go to Samaboy and play Samartex. They have to go to Bibiani and play Bibiani Gold Stars. They have to come to Accra and play Dewu, Great Olympics, Accra Lions, Legon City, Hearts of Folk. They have to go to the south again, somewhere in the Volta region, and play Pando Heart of Lions.
So most of their travels are down south, and it requires some amount of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why, if you are a team that qualifies from the north, you need a lot of financial, muscles to go through this particular travel. And aside you needing that financial muscle, physically, what will be the condition of the team when they get to a venue in the south? Because it is not like in Europe or other African countries where you have You have how do you call it, clubs traveling by plane or traveling by buses or even flying. You understand? Sometimes because of accommodation, the teams have to get to a venue a day before the game.
Yeah.
Which for me, or maybe some few hours to the game itself. So you look at all these factors, and that is the reason why I feel teams in the North really struggle to sustain their Premier League status. And that is clearly why RTU are struggling, and the reason why Tamale City got relegated last season, the reason why RTU themselves have been relegated.
Sad one for the people of the northern region. I know you were here yesterday. Even the desire to go out there and fight, we didn't see that in the RTU team.
But I was not really surprised. I agree with Felix with the various factors he was talking about in regards to the teams from the northern side of this country. To play 2-3 continuous seasons, and anytime there are teams from that side battling relegation in the Ghana Premier League, tells you some of these factors need to be considered when teams are getting promotion from that department to play in the Ghana Premier League. It's very important because almost about 50% of your games that you play in a way, you have to come to this area. You are having about 5 teams in the northern region, in the Wrong Afro region, and 2 teams in the Central region. That is 7 teams.
That is even closer to you.
That is closer to you. So you have more than 50% of your away games playing in areas that you need to travel more than 6-7 hours to play those games. The last time I was telling you a story about when RTU wanted to come and play their away game against Kwando House of Lions in Kwando. Their budget for that particular game alone was around 17,000 Ghana cedis. At that time, their car was spotted at Tamale Magazine. They needed 3,000 Ghana cedis to go for their bus. So when you add that 3,000 to the 17,000, for that game alone, they needed 20,000 to come to Kwando. How much are they receiving?
So now
let's do
this math. If you take the 7 teams that are in Bono and Ashanti, it means that the other 9 teams are in the south. So if RTU is spending 20,000 cedis for travel, and I don't know if accommodation is even included in the fuel. So let's say even 20,000 for accommodation and fuel, 20,000 times 9, bro. That is huge.
So that is why
that is huge.
They got some amount of money from former President John Dramani Mahama. It was around 500,000. But it seems it was too little too late.
Last month.
It didn't come early.
Yeah.
So those are the factors affecting some of these teams.
And it's sad that RTU are going down to Division 1, but let's look at how they conceded 2 goals against Asante Kotoko yesterday. The first was from Peter Akwamidu. It was a beautiful play from Asante Kotoko. Beautiful team play there. You see Enoch Morrison giving the ball to Peter Akwamidu, who slotted it past the goalkeeper. I mean, the lack of desire is what I'm sure the RTU fans will not be happy with the team yesterday. Felix, you could see that clearly the team or the boys, they didn't want to come out and even try to go for the kill. It was as if we are already going down, so let's just take a walk in the park.
No, but Mutala, if you say that, I totally disagree with it. It put the integrity of the league into question. I think that Kotoko were actually the better team on the day. They knew very well that should they get a point or a win, it means that automatically they are safe from relegation. Because if Kotoko hadn't won this game or had lost this game, it means that they still have to wait for match week 34 to determine if they will still play in the Premier League.
The game against Bofapa.
Yes, next season. So it was important for them to get the win. I'm sure that for the supporters, they knew very well that it was season over for RTU. But hey, Kotoko is a big club. They are in town. Forget about the woes and the problems around RTU. Let's go to the sports complex and go and watch, Kotoko play. Kotoko were the better side. Yes, you can question the motivation with which players will come into a season, or come into a game, knowing very well that their season, their Premier League status is over. So let's give credit to Kotoko. They played quite well, and I love the fact that this is one of the quality pitches that we have. Standard.
I think it's one of the best
that we have.
Kudos to
and standard as well.
Now, Felix, let's look at this second goal. I mean, how better Silva found themselves in a case of space with no one really around him poses a question about how RTU have been woeful in defense all season. They've conceded 52 goals. and that shows how poor they've been.
52 goals in 32 games. Mutala, that is very, very bad.
The highest in the division.
Yes, and that tells you that, you know, when you see in league format and system, if you are conceding a lot of goals, your chances of survival will be limited.
It means average every 2 games you concede 3
goals, which is very, very poor. And you see, you can concede 3, but you are not also scoring. Mutala, that is the problem. They are not scoring goals, because if you look at RTU, they've scored 30 goals in 32 games, which is averagely one goal per game. So if you are conceding 3 goals per game, you are scoring 1 goal, there is no way you are going to get the needed points to survive. And I think that some of these mistakes are the reason why they suffered in the league this season.
So RTU, they're going down. And yesterday, Kumasi Asante Kotoko all but confirmed their status for next season. Even though one might say it hasn't been a great season for them, the people or their fans are looking at them challenging for the title. But I think escaping relegation has been some form of an achievement for Asante Kotoko this season.
You know, Mutala, we were discussing this thing that this particular season, per how the list standing looks like, you need at least 45 points to be safe. Because between Olympics and House of Folk, one of them cannot get 45 points because it's 40-41.
Yeah.
So it means the two of them, one of them cannot get 45 points. So it means when you get 45 points, you are safe for next season. So Kotoko, out of the 2 games, they needed at least one win out of them, and the game against RTU is one of the things that really worked for them for their yesterday game. So a win against RTU means Asante Kotoko will survive for next season's Ghana Premier League. They've been through a lot this particular season. A lot of things has happened between in the club. So I'm sure going forward, they need to sort things out and make sure they will come back strong. A team like Asante Kotoko, 3 seasons continuous without fighting for the Premier League. So it means there are issues within the club. Management, board members, need to come in and make sure the Kotoko that we used to know previous years ago will come back, because this is where Kotoko find themselves. At best, is to get 49 points out of 34 games. That is not good enough for a team like Asante Kotoko.
It's not good enough for Asante Kotoko. Currently, they are 8th on the league table with 46 points. So their last game is against Bofo Akwatado. Should they win, they would get about 49 points. They could still finishing in the top 4 would be a lot difficult unless something miraculous happens with Midiama and Adriana. Should they also fail to win their games, but it looks like Kotoko will not finish in the top 4.
Well, I don't think so. I doubt. And then also, you also have to look at the head-to-head with the teams that are above them. Brecum Chelsea against Kotoko. Brecum Chelsea have a better head-to-head. Against Bichim United, I think that is where Kotoko might have, Against Nations, they don't. Against Midiama, they do. Against Ediana, Accra Lions, and Samartex, already champions. So I don't think Kotoko can make the top 4. But I think that looking at the troubles that they've gone through, if they're able to finish, at where they are, it won't be a very good season for them. But it also means that Prosper Nateogun will have the opportunity to correct some of the mistakes that happened this season, and then going into the next season, he will want to rewrite those wrongs, and then probably get the right players and make sure that everybody is at par with what he wants to do for Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
In every big team all over the world, I'm not sure if we're a coach for a team like Man City, a coach for a team like Liverpool, a coach for a team like Arsenal. Now with the 8th, with the 7th, the next season, supporters and leaders in the club will have confidence in you that you should stay in the club. That is one.
Project.
That is what I'm talking about. A team like Asante Kotoko, Ghana, they believe they are the best club, one of the best clubs in this country. And you finish 7th, you finish 8th. And we are talking about that coach to continue as a head coach for the club the following season. No, that is not the best option for the club. Number 2, in big clubs like those clubs that I was mentioning, if you don't play more than 40% or 50% of their games in the course of the season, the following season, transfers will be around you. Because teams will like to come for you, or the team will like to release you for them to buy additional quality players to support them for next season. So, if you are playing for Asante Kotoko, House of Folk, you have not been able to play at least 50% of the games in the course of the season. Me personally, if I'm a manager of a football club like this, I would like to sacrifice you and bring in another player who can compete well with the players who played more than 50% of their games. So personally, I don't think it's a good idea for Prosper Netogum to continue as the head coach for Asante Kotoko.
Well, that is a bold statement there. Let's see what happens with Kotoko. Just one game for them to end the season, because the FA Cup, they have been knocked out and they will not be playing any further there. So next week, we'll see Kotoko finish up their season. Let's now turn our attention to the game of the day. It is at the Nashiriga Sports Complex, where Kotoko yesterday had the win against RTU. It is Karela who also needs to survive. They are coming up against Samartex, and it's going to be an interesting one. Head-to-head of the two teams has seen them play 3 times, where Samartex got a win against Karela in 2022. It was a 1-0 win for them. Then Karela returned the favor with a 1-0 victory themselves in 2023. The last game played between the pair ended 3-0 in favor of Karela. Now, Felix remarks, Samartex have already won the league. They did that last week. What will be the motivation going into such a game? For Karela, they needed 3 points badly to ensure their survival in the league.
Well, I think that for Samartex, I will be surprised if they put in a very strong lineup today. I'm sure that if you are a team, yes, you want to at least manage some of the players who've had a lot of games this season, especially with the coronation game next week at Summer Boy. They'll want to, feel a bit relaxed. And for the players that will have the opportunity to play today, they want to go out there and go and have fun. It doesn't mean that it will be an easy game, because some of the players still need to, play well to convince Nuruddin that, you know what, I need to stay in the club next season, because come next season there'll be a lot of games for them. They would be playing in Africa. I'm sure they want to go further and do well in the MTN FA Cup as well, whilst they are playing in the league. And I'm sure they'll also look at what clubs that have won the league or probably the FA Cup have done in Africa, because it means that you need a larger squad. You'll be playing game week in, week out, going to Africa on maybe midweeks or weekends and coming to play outstanding games in the weekend. So you need a larger squad. So it means that players that will have the opportunity to play today must still convince the club and Nuruddin that I want to be at the club next season. So yes, because they've won the league doesn't mean that they will just go there for Karela to walk over them. But if you talk about motivation, I think that for Karela, it is a must-win game for them. But they will go into this game as favorites because they are doing quite well. At home, they've won all their last 5 games. But we shouldn't forget that even Samartex, before they won the league last weekend, they have been very bad travelers in the last 5 games. They've lost the last 3 games, lost the last 2 before those 3.
I think the focus shifted to doing well when it comes to the home games. I mean,
it is very, very
important. A lot of energy in the home games.
It is very, very important.
Managing a draw at least from away from home.
Of course, and that is what you need to do when you want to win the league. Out of the 16 games they've played at home, they've lost only once to Nations, and that was the only game they failed to score. Aside that, the 15 games, they've picked up 30 points from those games. So it tells you how good they've been at home. But at away games, they are quite, they haven't quite been convincing. And this is the 5 home games that Karela have played. So apart from that,
Abukari Damba took over. They have been good with their home games. And I think at the Nashiriga Stadium, they are yet to lose a game.
Out of 15.
Yes. Winning 4 and drawing 1. That is impressive.
Yes, and to draw against Accra Lions, who is having a fantastic season. I'm sure they will finish second. They've been very, very good. And for me, I think that this record will give them hope when they go into the game against Samartex this afternoon. Okay,
so Karela's last 5 matches in the Ghana Premier League, I've seen them won 3 and lost 2. They beat Aduana by 2-1 before getting a 1-0 victory over Nations FC. Bichim beat them by 3-1, and they also got a win against Nswatama, but their last game ended in a 1-0 defeat against Dreams FC. Now they do that's Samartex winning the league earlier take something away from this game, because if Samartex were still chasing the league, I think it would have been a different ball game altogether.
I think Samartex as a football club, what I'm hearing from the team's camp, they really want to finish hard, right from the owner of the club, Nana in Century, to the manager Ed Monaka, to the technical team headed by Amadou Nuruddin. They really want to finish hard. So they want to get something from today's game against Karela and move back home and win their last game. That will be the coronation game for them. So, as I predicted on Thursday on GPA headquarters, the 2 games that start times are showing today, Karela Samartex is a 4-time draw, and of course Olympics House of Folk is also a 4-time draw, because I see Samartex going to Karela Sports Stadium to do something, to make a name for themselves, to tell every Ghanaian that they are really in for business, and even though they've won the Ghana Premier League, they really want to end very well in the Ghana Premier League. So I'm not surprised if they will go there and do something in the Ghana Premier League. They have a good team, and one thing about them, they've been consistent. We are talking about how OutU and staff have been traveling all over the country. Samartex have also been traveling all over the country to the northern side and the Brong-Ahafo side to play the Ghana Premier League. But the only thing is, they've been consistent in player selection. Yeah. So most of their players... And they also have
the financial backing.
That is the most important thing.
Remember we spoke to Abronoma, the PRO for Samartex, and he told us that they go 2 days clear of every game. So the players have enough rest. They can stay there and try to recover from the stress of a long distance journey.
So I mean, to do well in the Ghana Premier League, you need that financial support and the financial muscles to work hard in the Ghana Premier League. I think they can go to Karela Sports Stadium. The worst result for Samartex today at that stadium will be a draw.
Yes, of course. And unfortunately for us here, we do not have a lot of rail system where you could go to a venue. You can even get to your destination within 2 hours, 3 hours. You have to go a day before. So these are the last 5 away matches that Samartex have played. They have not been good travelers on the road in their last 5 games. They drew 2-2 with Dreams FC before drawing 1-1 with Legon Cities. They lost to Kotoko, lost to Real Tamale United, and their last away defeat was against Heart of Lions. But there's been a transformation with Karela. Felix Abukar Idamba has overseen them, pick up at a point where everyone thought Karela were going down. They were not winning matches. They were bad travelers on the road. But ever since Abukar Idamba came in, he steadied the ship.
I think he's done quite well. And for me, kudos to him. I would love to see him stay in the league with Karela. I think that for Karela, they've had a very, very tough a season, especially with change of ownership. They had to play some games at the start of the season at Enyinasi, have to move to Tamale, and then when the Tamale Sports Stadium was closed down, they have to look for another venue and go to Narelugu and play some of the games. But I think that they've done quite well. I'm hoping that it will be suicidal for us to lose all northern teams. At least I want to see a regional balance when we are talking about a national Premier League. So it will be so bad that we won't have any team from the northern region playing in the Ghana Premier League. And that is the reason why I'll be hoping that today they get a very good result against the already crowned league champions, Samartex.
And Mutala, in the course of the week, I remember you spoke to the head coach for Karela, Abakar Idamba, on Sports Park on Mass 89.7. He told you about, they are struggling this particular season. First, they started from, Enyinasi, moving to the Tamale Sports Stadium, and of course, moving to Karela. And he told you, even from Tamale to Karela Sports Stadium is 3.5 hours. And yesterday, in the game involving Asante Kotoko and OutU, Prosper Netogum said it. They moved from Kumasi on Friday, 6 a.m. They go to Karela or the Narelugu 6 p.m. in the evening. So even from Kumasi to that place is about 10 to 12 hours. So it tells you going there and passing through all these things makes things very difficult for you in the Ghana Premier League. And I think Karela has passed through a lot this particular season. So for Abakar Idamba to come in and do wonders in the second one, we are looking at their home performance in their last 5 games. 13 out of possible 15 points. It is a big achievement for clubs like this in the Ghana Premier League. So I think they've done well. Even if they go back to Division 1, I think they can fight back into the Ghana Premier League. Their destiny is in their own hands. Win the next 2 games for you in the Ghana Premier League and survive in the Premier League for next season.
Felix, do you think Karela moving from the ancestral home in Enyinasi to the northern region has really had a toll on them?
I think so. Because, traditionally the club started as an Nzima-based team. And they had the structures, may so rest in peace, Senator Brigadier. It started something well. I've been to that venue before. It has always been a fortress. For any team that crosses the Cobra River, gets to Karela to play Karela United, it has always been difficult. And at that time also, because a lot of teams were not getting access to AstroTurf, they had AstroTurf there.
It was awkward playing on it.
Yes, so they had an advantage. And if you go there on match days, the whole community would be behind them. And sometimes, Mutala, if there is change of ownership, you've bought a new team and change venue, it is now time for the new community that is where you are moving a club to accept and welcome. So Karela themselves have to do a lot of cultural integration.
And it's not easy.
It is not easy at all. It is not easy at all. And I think that is one of the reasons why you have Abukar Damba, who from me comes from that part of the region, being head coach. I think that the owner of the club, the former minority leader in parliament, Haruna Idrisu, also need to do a lot of stakeholder consultation with the people in that particular region to make sure that they embrace that, I've gotten a new team, I bought Karela, I brought it here, I will need you guys to support the team, because sometimes economically, when you have a Premier League teams, it brings a lot of economic benefit to the region which the club is playing at. And for me, that is one of the reasons why I would love to see Karela United stay in the league.
So Karela are there now, Sherega Stadium in their branded bus. The head coach Abukar Damba coming down from that bus. It takes a lot to get to the Sherega Stadium. These days, Karela, they were sharing the same venue with Real Tamale United at the Tamale Sports Stadium, but both of them had to relocate to Sherega because of renovation works that are currently ongoing at the Tamale Sports Stadium. Today they have a very, very big task. They have to win against Samartex. Nanedu, does that put pressure on the team? I mean, psychologically, they know that it is a make or break for them. If they don't win this game, they might go down.
They know it. That is why I was talking about their own destinies in their own hands. Win the 2 games left in the Ghana Premier League. Karela will survive. This is your last home game of the season. The last home game. You get this much more 3 points. The only game left is the game against Mediama next week in Takwa. So one can handle pressure oneself. You find a way to get the results, then that will help you survive in the Ghana Premier League. And I was just looking at their squad. They have some good players in their team, players who have tasted the Premier League for some time. Goalkeeper Ganiu has been in the scene for some time. Augustine Randolph, former House of Folk captain, Fatao Mohamed, Maswala Jimakito, when Kotoko won the Ghana Premier League, was part of the Kotoko team, quality player in their team. So the team is not really bad, but I think they've done well. If they win today's game, their chance of surviving in the Ghana Premier League will be high. They
must win today's game. Felix, same question. Does that put pressure on the players? Especially, I always look at the psyche, the mentality. What does it add to them? Is it going to put pressure on them, or it's rather going to motivate them to go in and say, kill yourself?
I'm sure that they have set a target.
Yeah.
And the target won't be about just this game. I'm sure Abukar Damba would have looked at the fixtures from maybe match week 30 and say, or 29, say the last 5 games, we need to make sure that we are picking up valuable points if we want to, succeed. But I don't think the team will wait till match week 33 and think about survivor. It is something that probably they have sat down to say, we need to make sure that we are winning our last 5 games. If you look at their last 5 games, both home and away, they've won 3 and they've lost 2 in those games. And even talking about their last away game, they went to Doma and beat Aduana Stars. So it tells you that this is a team that really want to, get something. In fact, it was they lost to Dreams, but they defeated Iswatrema at home. They won against Nations FC. Yeah. They won against Aduana. They lost against Bichim. So in the last 5 games, they've picked up 9 points from the last 5 games. So I don't think the target would have been for only this game. They had a plan that, let's win the remaining matches and make sure that we are surviving. And for me, I think that what would also work for them is the fact that the head-to-head with the other teams that
are closer to them.
So it is also very, very important. And knowing very well that they are coming up against a team that has already won the league, they know that, I don't think these guys will be more motivated than us. Let's go and tell them that, you know, we need these 3 points badly.
In about 12 minutes, I will cross over to the Nasriga Stadium for the first half of that game between Karela and, of course, Samartex. But we take a quick break here on Star Times at the Patch Channel 247. When we return, we listen to the coaches.
This is our own, let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. I say this is our own, let's cherish our own. Division 1 League is back again. This is our own, let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. This is our own, let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again. I don't see a day what dog can want. And EJ can want. The day ration more. They say a day what dog can want. And EJ can want. The day ration more. Since the days of Baba Yara, we've been there. Ghana Premier League is back again. Since the days of Shamokwe, we've been there. Division 1 League is back again. Since the days of Abeta Saki, we've been there. Women's Premier League is back again. Since the days of Asamoah John, we've been there. We've been there. Ghana Premier League is back again. Since the days of Ishmael Ado, we've been there. We've been there. Division 1 League is back again. So this is our own, let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. This is our own, let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. This is our own, let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again. Since the days of Emmanuel Clotte, we've been there. We've been there. Division 1 League is back again. Since the days of Abedi Pele, we've been there. We've been there. Ghana Premier League is back again. And the days of Ebo Smith, we've been there. Ghana Premier League is back again. Division 1 League is back again. Division 1 League is back again. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. It's back again. Women's Premier League is back again. I say Women's Premier League is back again. Hey, mama. Hey, mama.
Okay, so it's match day 33 of the Ghana Premier League, and it will wrap up beautifully today. The first of two matches to be played on Star Times at the Patch Channel 247 is Karela, who are hosting Samartex, but there are loads of games to be honored at the various stadia in this country. Adriana then Anaj Mabedu Park will be taking on in Swatrema. Baby Nico Stars at Dance Park would also host Mediema Bofwakwa, who have already been relegated, will come up against Brecum Chelsea, and Heart of Lions will be at home against Legon Cities. Karela, they are facing Samartex. It's a must-win game for Karela. These days they are based in the northern region. They used to be at Inyinase. Nations FC would also come up against Bichim United, and later this evening there is Heart of Oak against Great Olympics, and that game is very, very huge due to the status of the two clubs currently on the Ghana Premier League table. My name is Mutala Yakubu, still here with Felix Romack and of course Nana Edu. Just a few minutes to the start of that game. It is getting interesting reports we are getting from Nashariga is that both teams are fired up for this one, and Karela are having a full house for this game. Felix, with the situation Karela find themselves in, how should they approach this game? Because sometimes overconfidence can kill you.
I don't think they'll be overconfident because one, you are not playing against a team that is struggling to survive or a relegation threatened team. You are playing against a team that is better than the remaining 17 teams in the league. So you won't go into the game and feel very complacent. You are playing against the current Premier League champions. So they will give them the respect. I'm sure before the start of the game, Samartex will get their usual, walk of a champion.
Okay, Felix, I'll come back to you. Let me go to the National Gas Stadium and have a listen to the coaches.
Coach, many thanks for giving us a little bit of your time. Now, it looks like you are close to invincible at home. Your last 7-8 matches, if I'm not exaggerating, you have not lost here. Going into this game, and with this at the back of our minds, what should we expect from Karela?
Yes, your point is very laudable, and that's a fact of the matter. But we need to understand that football is a game full of uncertainties.
True.
And you need to approach every single game with the seriousness that it desires.
True.
All these games that we played in the past, they belong to the past.
Yes.
What matters is the present. But I'm very optimistic that we will produce what we have produced even better, results-wise. So we are not looking at this game indifferently, but we are very, very poised to repeat the dose.
You are playing against the uncrowned league champions. They've gone through a tough season, just like you have. And maybe connoisseurs of the game would want to believe that they start as favorites. Would you agree?
Well, every game and its approach. For now, I will congratulate Samartex. Fantastic season, great performance, great results, and they have always shown the professionalism that they deserve. And I give them shout outs and I salute them so much. Players, technical team, management, fantastic, good work done. But this is still a game. And as much as they are uncrowned, they want to prove why they are champions.
Yeah.
They will always want to live up there and maintain.
Yeah.
So we're coming against the best.
Okay.
In quotes.
In quotes.
Because they are the champions.
Sure.
So coming against the best, you must do your best. And we are going to do the best to come against the best.
Okay. 2 games to go to wrap up the season. Karela is not lying comfortable on the league table, and I'm sure one of your desires is that both matches would go well for you.
Yeah.
But again, looking at the situation as it stands, how difficult will it be to surmount the 2 match hurdles in front of you? In other words, will Karela maintain its premiership status?
It's always going to be difficult. That's a fact of the matter. And we know that the aim of every game is to win. And we are very, very positive, and this is what we want to do. So game, we're talking about Samartex today. I don't talk about Midiama because Midiama belongs to next week. So I'm talking about Samartex. Let me clear the first hurdle. And when we get to the bridge against Midiama, we shall cross it.
Any pressure from the fans? It looks like they've fallen in love with Karela here in Nalerigo.
Yes, they are falling in love. They have given us the best of support, and we have always delivered and made them happy. And I only hope will reciprocate what they give to us.
Yeah.
That is, all they want is good football and results. But today, we are more concerned about the results.
Okay.
And I'm talking about positive results.
Okay.
And that's what they also want to have. And we'll give it to them, inshallah.
Abukadar Mba says that they are more focused on the results, and that is what they want to do at the moment. Felix, you heard him. They are going in for the kill, and they have no other option than to attack from all fronts.
So I love his pre-match analysis. Say, what, the concentration is on this game. Whatever results we've gotten in the past is past and gone. Appreciate the fact that the supporters have been good to them, and they want to actually not just win but play some very good football. And I know that for the works that he's done in recent time, I've kind of come and appreciate what he's done.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that they'll be able to win this game.
Okay, it is about time we cross over to the National Sports Stadium for the first half of the game between Karela and Samartex. See you after the first 45 minutes.
The Nasheriga Park here in Nalerigu. We're still bringing you our continuing coverage of the Ghana Premier